In the United Methodist Church, how do people get on the Judicial Council? Great question. Electing Judicial Council members is one of the responsibilities entrusted to General Conference delegates. In this video, I will explain the process for Judicial Council members to be nominated and elected, and how General Conference delegates can be prepared. The United Methodist Judicial Council serves as the highest judicial court in the Church, playing a role similar to the Supreme Court in the United States. The Judicial Council reviews decisions of law made by bishops, ensures that due process is followed during clergy trials, determines the legality of certain actions, and reviews the constitutionality of the rules in the Book of Discipline. The Judicial Council is composed of 9 members who serve for overlapping terms of 8 years. A member may serve for 2 consecutive terms, but then they must step down for at least 4 years before serving again. For 8 years, there are 4 clergy and 5 laity on the Judicial Council. Then it alternates to 5 clergy and 4 laity for the next 8 years, before switching back again. There are also 6 clergy alternates and 6 lay alternates who serve a term of 4 years. Judicial Council members are supposed to represent the diversity of our denomination, a difficult responsibility among just 9 members. General Conference is where members of the Judicial Council are elected. At the close of a regular session of General Conference, either 4 or 5 of the members on the Judicial Council will be ending their term, and General Conference delegates elect to fill those seats for the next term. First, the Council of Bishops nominates a pool of candidates. The pool must contain 3 times as many candidates as there are seats to fill, including at least 1 nominee from each jurisdiction and central conference. When those nominees are announced at General Conference, delegates have an opportunity to make additional nominations in plenary session. Next, the names and biographies of each nominee are published in the Daily Christian Advocate. 48 hours or more after those are published, General Conference delegates will be asked to vote on the nominees with no discussion. Once the Judicial Council members are elected, General Conference delegates then vote on alternates from the remaining nominees. Judicial Council members have an awesome responsibility. They must read the appeals and requests submitted to them, read any related arguments and briefs, sometimes hear oral arguments, and write decisions based on the United Methodist Constitution, Book of Discipline, and judicial precedent. Members often have a thorough knowledge of church polity and a legal background, either through practicing law or serving as a judge in a secular setting, or through experience in church trials. The Judicial Council must maintain impartiality, so members cannot discuss pending matters with anyone outside of a hearing or the Judicial Council's own deliberations. Members may not serve as delegates to general, jurisdictional, or central conferences, or serve on boards or agencies at the general, central conference, or jurisdictional level. Since there is no discussion of Judicial Council nominees in plenary, and delegates only have 48 hours to review the nominees' biographies before voting, how do delegates determine which candidates to vote for? Reading the biographies and considering each candidate's qualifications is a good first step. Who nominated each candidate? That could tell you the candidate's affiliations. Sometimes coalitions also review the nominees and come up with a recommended slate. Sometimes more than one coalition will work together on a joint slate, negotiating on candidates acceptable to each coalition in order to garner more potential votes for the whole slate from delegates aligned with each coalition. Even if delegates receive a slate from a coalition, it is up to each delegate to decide whether they believe the coalition's slate is in the best interests of the United Methodist Church before casting their vote. A majority vote is needed to fill each seat, first the 4 or 5 vacant seats on the Judicial Council, and then the 12 alternates. The newly elected Judicial Council members are seated after General Conference adjourns. So that's the process for electing members of the Judicial Council. Knowing how the process works in advance is a great way to be better prepared. If you'd like to know how other parts of General Conference work, subscribe to this channel to get notices about my future videos. Thanks for watching.